Do 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 do. Greetings, Daniel JMCL. Let's see. Do. Do. Hey, Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Where are you? Yes, the 2 ring slots are live. And then I logged into game and I was like, yeah, I finally got that patch out to turn off the snow. Just logged in, the snow's still going. I think I see what I did. I reverted it, but I didn't revert the right one, so. Anyways. You get another day of snow. And then he spoke from down on high and said, there shall be another week of snow. Whew. And I'm supposed to have some people joining me, but everybody was, right now in Austin at least, everybody's battening down the hatches, whatever that means. I kind of know what it means. I know it's a sailing term. Hey, thank you very much, Hollyhock. But everybody's battening down the hatches. We have foul weather coming. If I suddenly drop off stream suddenly goes dead, it is because we lost power here. Or I was sucked up in a tornado, one of the two. Remember, this is the pro pre-stream. Not the real stream. But anyways, if we lose power just because, or if we go off, it's because we lost power. I have UPSs all over the house. I could probably last for 30 minutes or more without power. Unfortunately, the network box out at the curb does not have that, so. Wait. You have a patch, and yes, 2 rings are live. I did not get in some of the stuff, apparently, that I meant to get in, so. Also, the fix for the dragging icon bar is live on QA. I probably won't wait another 3 weeks to push that live. I'll probably try and get that live in a patch this weekend. Because yes, as always, they say all these crazy never patch on a Friday. Ha. Oh, looks like, speaking of ha ha. Just friended me. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Do. I see someone suggesting that the second ring slot may not be giving bonuses. This has been on QA for like a month. It better be working. Shake my fist at you guys. Oh, John Marcus. Okay, well, my throat's better for a change. I'll have to figure out a good song to sing here. Do. You do. Give Serial Kid a streamer camera. Oh yeah, we've got those streamer cameras. I need to get those guys out. Is question bought up? Let me look. I think so. Yes. I have added a question. And again, thank you, Serial Kid. Thank you, John Marcus. Thank you, let's see, Hollyhock, Scooby-Doo. Can I look at something more interesting than that wall today? Yes. Is that what it's called? Try to hit a nearby target, dummy. Pressing Siri. Why am I getting my combat? Why am I getting the tutorial stuff? Let's see. Let me go see if there's anybody in Tartarus right now. Maybe I can stand up on the castle wall or something and watch them fight. I've got helpers now who can help me out with sending things. Oh, that's right. Things changed. My map changed while I was away. Let's see. Okay, that's the right spot. What? Did I take a wrong turn? Oh, that's right, it's now. He moved my PvP, or is it here, and I went by the teleport already. Is that what happened? Yes, that's what happened. The teleporter is actually just a zone, and if you teleport to the other side of it, you don't get taken into it. I was like, well, what happened? Free Stonegate. Oh, I have an update on that, Holly. So I talked to Sanyo. He said he has specifically not done anything because it has not been locked. I don't know how that stuff works. But I think that's what he was saying, is the scene had not been locked since the change was made. And he waits until it's locked. Hopefully that means something to you. We can try and get it live again in a day. I'm getting the patch stuff worked out now. It seems QA has been equally stable, unstable as live, so maybe we can move live over to the faster build box now and also the newer version of Unity. We will see. Let's see. Hey, thank you very much, Lancel. All right. 8 2020 questions for you. That's good. For those who didn't know, today's stream is about 2020 questions. I've got some other things I'll throw in there too. Of course, the stream has not started. This is just the part where I sit around and be silly and wait for all the people who are late. We even have a professional community manager. Where's my community manager? I think he streamed all day and he's been doing other stuff too. He's actually doing work, if you can believe that. He's going to be the guy to send out the newsletter. That's something that Wizard Smoke has been doing, but it eats up some of his time, and he's kind of the bottleneck for a lot of stuff. So we're going to get, going forward, we're going to try to get Elgarion to do it. All right, let's see if there's anybody in here. I doubt there is. No, I don't see any dead corpses or anything around here. Do. Oh, here's one. Maxine was singing this the other day. I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath. Scared to rock the boat, I made a mess. So I sit quietly, agree politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up. Hey, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Hey, get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Louder than a lion, 'cause I am a champion. Look, I got a follow for singing. That's why they gave me a follow, right? That was for John Marcus, for those who didn't know. He gave 1337 bits. I try not to force my singing upon you unless it is requested, and he likes to troll you guys. That's the real truth. I remember we were doing a stream like sometime long ago, like R20 or something like that. And it was back when we would drink a lot on air. And I remember Star making the comment, like, before we went on sometime, like, I can't believe we're doing this. This is like setting my career back like 20 years drinking on the air. So every time I sing, I think about that. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Do, 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 do. All right, let's see. Teleported to Compendium of Pain and Suffering is no longer placeable in lots. Change may have occurred between B1080 and 1082. That is good to know. I did not know that. That's a super easy fix. I'm not sure how. I don't think that was an intentional change. Can we get pugilism damage bonuses while wielding a weapon type of unarmed, like Onks? Ooh, that's a good idea. Like having those things. I think some of them, I'm trying to think. The animations may be weird, like, because you carry, like, you put your hand out with the glowing ball stuff, like the tear of whoever and whatnot. You know those things I'm talking about, the glowy balls that float. You kind of hold your hand out. That'd probably look weird if you were punching with that, like doing with that floaty ball in your hand. John Marcus, why don't you host the map's off-game related servers, run on blank blank domain, leverage CDN. So the way the other ones were done is they were using CDN. It's still crazy slow. That may be what we end up doing again. It does come with some extra baggage, as I'm sure you know, and some extra cost. We're going to try a bunch of different stuff. But as for why it is still slow, again, it's one of those things. The web page was slow. When you go to the actual web thing, it was slow. But we do actually use, we were using CDN for those in the old ones. We're going to experiment with a few things. We're going to open it up. We'll probably start with it being on a server and just have it coming off of like a NVMe, a fast SSD drive, but have it local. I don't think that's going to make it any faster. I think there's actually just something in the process of it being sequential rather than, sending down bigger chunks of data. Because the way those maps were made, this is all for those who don't know, I'm talking about soda maps and how that stuff works. And it's not, I forget the guy's name who made it. It's not his fault. I mean, he was using an existing system of how that stuff's usually done. But it takes a big image and it chops it up into a lot of smaller images, and then it's sending you, the problem is it's sending you like tons and tons of little images, and maybe we can change that granularity so it's less granularity for the smaller images. Sending fewer big images, I think, will probably do better. But we will look into multiple different options there. I mean, the other option is we can look at sending the entire image, the entire full res image right up front as like just having like one level of granularity, because I think they're 4K by 4K images. Turns into, probably get it down to like a 200K JPEG, like sending one 200K JPEG for all that stuff. It'll use up a lot of memory local, but I mean, not a crazy amount. Like, I'm talking about saving memory. Jacob. Yes, Jacob White. Yes. Let's see. Continuing down the list, John Marcus. Wow, you did. You got like 8 questions in right away there, John Marcus. I'll get these in. Again, I don't have the other guys joining me yet. We may already also have power outages in Austin. We will see. In case you missed it earlier, that's we're under a tornado. I forget what they actually say, but they're saying we're going to get really foul weather. It's going to blow in fast, and that it's tornadoes are likely. It's the second time in 11 years that we've been on a high tornado warning watch. High tornado watch. Probably nothing will happen. Although we had for those who missed it, it was, I guess it's going about 20 years ago, we had a crazy tornado just north of Austin in Gerald, Texas. It's still one of those like worst tornadoes in history thing. The winds on it were bad enough there where it passed through the roads. Many of the roads were completely ripped up, so it was down to the dirt. It pulled up asphalt off the roads. It pulled pipes out of grounds. It pulled houses basically down to the foundations. It was crazy. You don't want me to sing, Lancel? Oh, man, where's the love? John Marcus, pot dungeons, where do they fit in? I did not include them on the list. I didn't consider. So the 2020 list was kind of the big picture stuff that we're trying to hit during 2020, kind of the big picture new stuff. That's something I didn't. Again, there were a few other things that people are like, what about, X, Y, or Z? And it's like, well, we'll probably do that during the year. It just wasn't a big ticket item. I didn't think it was. I know it's something that some people are excited about, but, just mentioning that we're going to continue working on dungeons kind of encompass that. John Marcus, pot templates. Are we going to get the long-awaited floating island template? Yes, we will. I'm putting it on a schedule. We'll see if we get it done. But that is, I mentioned there's going to be a few new pot templates that'll make it to the list. That's one of the things we do need to hire for in this upcoming year at some point. Not in the first quarter, probably in the second quarter. We're going to start shopping around for an extra world builder to help these guys out. So it's not just, Sanyo and Beezus and List and Damon and me making map content stuff. Let's see. Quick quality of life fix. Make quest handover item selection clickable for auto select. Make default location of teleport destination dialog centered to the screen, not to the left top. Let's see. Filter crafting menu recipes with items that are currently craftable. Make monthly refreshing items refresh on the first of the month. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. Why it's there. And Irish Eyes says, asking for all the arts in the game. Can we get an easel, some sort of art supplies for deco items, please? We would love that. So that's actually a pretty good one. Hey, thank you very much, Neferina. Thank you very much, Marcus. Thank you, Rim Skull. Thank you, Aries Moon Shadow. Thank you, John Marcus again, John Marcus again, and John Marcus again, and Neferina, and I'm going to guess that is House of Mangar, because the name gets cut off on my little thing. But that is something that we're actually starting probably next Monday. Need to send out the meeting appointment for it, but it's going to be in a meeting. Pretty much it's been like Star has been the guy who comes up with a lot of the store stuff. And he does an amazing job, obviously, with some things. Oh, thank you, Catherine Rose. I'm excited. Oh, and since Catherine Rose is here, let me pimp the Black Sales event tomorrow. I tweeted about it. You can go read about it on the tweet and read about it in the forums. It is good fun for all. I have been to a couple of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to make tomorrow. I'm going to try to make tomorrow. It all depends on the Maxine schedule. I know we have a birthday party tomorrow. And this is one of those things, it's like blackmail. You have to, if a kid invites you to their birthday party, you have to go to their birthday party if you're going to invite them to yours. Otherwise, you look like a D. I-C-K. In case that wasn't clear. But starting Monday, we're going to start having... and thank you, Pawn, Aura Pawn. Starting Monday, we're going to start having a meeting with me, List, Damon. He's that one of those artist guys that I think he's been on one stream ever, even though he's been on the team like 6 years or something ridiculous. And also Elgarion and Ravlox, so we can get some, basically the guys who are the big players of the game and talk to you guys a lot. Hype train incoming, what? Streamlabs, Eric Rules just subscribed to Twitch Prime. Yeah. What is this hype train stuff? What? Sub, gift, or use bits to get the next level. Do you guys know what this is about? It's a new thing. Got an email about it yesterday. Guys, we're on the hype train. 4 minutes and 31 seconds on the hype train. Woo woo! I don't know what it means. Let's see if that does anything. Oh, I'm 60% now. Do I get something special? Does anybody know what this thing is? Do I get something special if that gets all the way to the top? Thank you, Red Hammers, Pawn, Aeropon. It seems to be working. Good job, Twitch. Lancel, thank you. Gravity, Arca, Imp Strike, E-Hondas, and Nubby Earwiggles. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo-woo! Okay, Twitch, what do we win? If we get that up, what do we win? We're almost there. 97. Okay, and Catherine Rose pushed us over the top there. Okay, so what do we get now? What does that do for us? Hype. You get like a hype emote? Is that what you get? Lancel, thank you. Arca, thank you for the sub. Yippee! Okay, guys. That's fabulous. Oh, and we're 1 minute away. Speaking of hype train. Level 1 complete. Whoop, whoop. Okay, this is obviously going to keep going forever. You guys can continue to give me give me bits and see what you can do with this thing. I'm not going to encourage you too much. I usually encourage people to give bits to the other streamers out there who are doing this to help the community. But you can still give bits. I'm not telling you no. E-Hondas has a question, and then I'll get straight into the stream. Oh, we got a little bit longer. My bad eyes. I thought we were 1 minute away. We're 6 minutes away. E-Hondas, ships, boats. So looked at that. I did not put that on the 2020 list, as you probably saw, the sailing of boats. That's one of those things, again, when I mentioned that I had some people saying, how is this list different than what we've seen in the past? Well, this list was made based on me sitting down personally and trying to put, making a list of every item that's going into the game, try to put a woo-woo. Lancel, whoa, go Submarine Mike. Okay, I'm going to quit cheering you guys. You're doing this. But we're at level 2. I don't know what comes after level 2. I'm sure somebody else knows, though. Apparently it's new. Kansas GM, thank you very much. Submarine Mike, Gravity, thank you guys. Dart and Obscuro, Snugsy one. But anyway, so my list is different in that I really tried to sit down and figure out, like, what are the challenges in this. There goes Catherine Rose. Thank you again, Catherine Rose. And Lancel Main. Man, Lancel, 1,000 bits. Wow. But anyways, we got... I tried to put together a list of stuff we could do in getting the biggest bang for the buck. Now, ships and boats. And again, some of this is we've got more on the list now because also I sat down and talked through, some cases wrote down, other cases talked through with other team members what was going to be involved with most of these things. Not all of them, but many of them. And that's one of the things I looked at boats. There's a lot of stuff involved in it. So one of the compromises, again, like with horses, with mounts. Oh, and thank you very much, Zahn, for 3,000 bits. Guys, 2 minutes and 28 seconds. If we get above level 2, I don't know what level 3 is, but don't feel you have to push to level 3 or 4 or whatever. And John Mark is going to make me sing again. But anyways, so boats. So there's I came up with a simple plan for boats, which is basically before you can sail your boat, as I've already said once in the stream, you have to batten down your hatches. So basically that'll take all the items on your boat. Because the biggest challenge we have with having the boats move, obviously we have moving platforms. Submarine Mike, oh man, the dinger thing's just like a mile behind. That's why I'm like reading different stuff there. Zahn just gave 3,000 bits. Kinsa GM, John Marcus again, Lancel Main. Oh, you guys are going nuts. 95% though. Just saying, 95%. You guys don't get to 95%. There we go. What happens now? Hollyhock gifted a sub. Hype. Level 2 completed. How much time do we have? Do we get time for level 3? What does this mean? It just keeps going up? It's just like an increasing number? Oh, you're getting emotes out of this. You can earn 1 emote per train by subbing, gifting, or using more than 100 bits in total during the event. Exclusive emotes. Okay, cool. Cool. Oop of the Veil, Irish Eyes. Thank you, Hollyhock. Thank you, John Marcus. I'll get you a song here in a minute. Oh, but anyway, so for the boats. The challenge with the boats is having them move around when you can have a boat that you can put like 5,000 decos on. And, you know, then we've got to like handle the 5,000 decos, and in many cases decos stacked on decos, and looking at all that stuff. It's already performance challenging enough just to render that stuff in a semi-static state. But having those things all on a boat that's moving around just is one of those things that's a killer. So we are still planning on doing the ships and boats and having scenes for them and that type of stuff where you can actually sail a ship around. But when you put it into boat mode, the compromise is that you'll batten down the hatches. All the decos will vanish until you get back to the next, until you dock it again at another port and become stationary. So anyways, just a heads up. And Skeggy Media, thank you. And Eric Rules, thank you. And Nefrina Shadowstorm, whose name is slightly too long, and because they gave 1,000 bits, it does not show up. There we go, now it showed up. And U232 Sentinel. All right, let me do something real quick here. Lancel, you'll need to turn down the volume or something. Don't blame me. Talk to John Marcus about it. I'm looking through some Billy Joel songs here. I'm trying to remember which Billy Joel songs I've done. It's another one of those guys I grew up on. Only been to one Billy Joel concert, though. Waited until late in life to catch him. Oh, Storm. Okay. Let's see. Have I done scenes from an Italian restaurant? How about Vienna? Only the good die young. Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? This is how I'm going to shut down that hype train, guys. Right here. Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You've got so much to do, but only so many miles or hours in a day. Hey. But you know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want, or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Okay, I think I've now managed to kill the hype train. But you guys get lots of apparently there's a bunch of custom emotes you guys now get for being on the hype train level 2 or level 3. Toss a coin to your devs. Oh yeah, we got to do something. I finally finished watching that the other day. All right, let me close my lyrics stuff here. Let's see. Did I thank everybody? Lancel again. Thank you for your big contributions in U235 and Gravity. Gravity, man, another 1,000 bits there. Thank you. So we are here. It is now 4:02. So we got some stuff to do here. You received a level 2 hype train. Thanks. Such strong support. Level 2 completed. Okay, that's apparently something new. I don't know how long that's going to last. But thank you guys. Last is in generate extra money for Twitch. So we had a couple of things I said I was going to talk about today, and apparently I'm solo streaming it here today. Now we have even more people to help me out with stuff, and I got No Star. I knew he was probably not going to be able to make it tonight. He's got school stuff and some other things going on. I think, is he doing the dance party this weekend? I forget when he's doing the DJ party. If you want to catch up with him, you can catch him on that. But I thought I was going to have El Gary on. I think Ravlox might have mentioned he wasn't going to be here, but maybe they both mentioned they weren't going to make it. And List is taking care of helping his friend move. I won't say the relationship with the friend. But anyways, he's helping them move, so he wasn't going to be on it. Or actually, he said he would probably be late. So we'll see if anybody actually shows up late. Oh, I see somebody pinging me. Nope. And look, Rick is on, pardon me, Elgarion is on the chat there. He's just not joining me in the stream. All right, well, I had some stuff I was going to do here. One is I talked to players. We had kind of the Lord of the Isle stuff kind of goes back to the older days. Oh, now he's offering to come in. I guess he's listening. Want to join? Let's see, I'll try calling these guys. You're the only person on the call. Let me see, I'll get them on here. Oh, look, now you don't get to stare at a wall. Instead, you get to stare at a dungeon wall. Way different. Ah. All right, now I can see if I can get my display capture to there we go. Yeah, I got a partner. Except now I got to figure out how to get your audio on here. Are you there? Yep.
I'm here.
All right. I'm doing the crummy audio thing of you're going in or out of a speaker and it's going into my microphone. So that way it guarantees I will sound cooler than you. I don't think it works that way, but. Let's see. Oh, yes, and you should be saying the phrase, the weather outside is frightful. We're doing horrible at this stuff. Oh, yeah, now that I've got a partner in crime up here, if you want to do we will be doing the drawings. No, I have not sent out last week's drawings. I like to let them pile up a little bit to build a little suspense. But if you want to do the drawing, you can either purchase something, or you can just say in-game, the weather outside is frightful, which you can do for free. But anyways, so one of the things... Oh, and I guess I messed it up. Elgarion, how many ways are there to win?
2.
Good job. Okay, I already said what the 2 ways were. Buy something or go say, yeah, the weather outside is frightful. We will do a drawing here in 10 minutes, the first drawing. Prizes are the same because we have this crazy long, 7-week release or whatever. Maybe next week I'll tell Star we're changing them. So we don't have to give out the exact same thing again, although it does make it a little easier. Oh, but anyways, one of the things I'd done was we have these the Lord of the Isle packages. So it's something we want to do. We always want to give our, I would call them angel supporter type people, something to buy to help that they know will help the project in a significant way. And it's always tough because there's, some people who will just, if we give them something to buy that's cool, and they know we appreciate it, they will help us out. There's some people who are kind of on they want to make sure they want to do it, but they want to make sure they get value out of it. And one of the things that had changed was just the value of some of the items in the Lord of the Isle had changed just because there were, with ways you can upgrade deeds and stuff like that. Like the castle deed was kind of the big thing in it, but it wasn't that cool because you can get something not quite the same, but nearly the same in the through upgrades and stuff. It's still taxed or whatever differently, but anyways, so I was told basically by some of those people who said, we like it, but We don't feel the value. This is the exact words they use. We don't feel, you can put it like an Italian voice or something like that, like the mob talking to you. We don't think the value proposition's there. I can't do an Italian accent. But anyways, they didn't think the value proposition, that it was a good value proposition. And they told me I needed to sexy them up. And of course, anytime we take one of these existing pledges and we sexy it up a little bit, we always make sure the people who bought it before that, they get the new sexy. So one of the new sexy things that came up is this week when I had some time, I went and I did a bunch of cleanup because basically Shroud of the Avatar had taken over the Spears household, and the wife was letting me know about it, and she was trying to get some stuff cleaned up. So I was trying to consolidate down because I'd taken over a big chunk of the garage and our junk room, which is actually a bedroom. So I had to consolidate that stuff. But while I was going through and trying to pack through and find different stuff, well, one thing I found that was cool was I found Justin, our deco diva. She actually made a notebook of here's cool deco ideas. I went through and I was like paging through that, like a physical notebook with pictures and stuff like that. But we did pretty good on her notebook. We got most of those things in there that she had in there. But thanks to Justin for that. And that was probably like 5 years old or something. I have no idea how long that's been around. But another thing I found was the final 25 cassette covers for a Calibeth. So we know there's a handful of those that are promised out to some people who never have given us addresses, who have not responded to emails. I actually just emailed them again this week and got one to reply. But most of them are not. So we've got enough so we can do for the first 2 tiers, the 8 and the 8, the first 16 I know. I'm going to be sending out a signed, framed Calibeth cassette cover to those people. So that's going to be a new reward in the Lord of the Isles tier 1 and tier 2 people. And again, all the existing people are going to get them. And you know how good we are about shipping things, right?
The best.
Actually, I just walked to the shipper's house because her husband is having some health problems, temporary health problems, but absolutely painful, like to eat anything stuff. So I made them soup and took it to him and talked to her. So she's a little behind, but she actually did get some shipping done over the holidays. But I'm going to take those to her and get her to ship those as well for us. But anyway, so that's going to be one thing. And I can go up and grab one here at some point when I'll get El Gary on to talk for me. But framed a Calibeth. And as far as I know, these are the last 25. I have now gone through all of our stuff. Richard doesn't think he has any more piles of them. But we have enough, again, for sure, the first 16. We'll see. I'm going to give the guys who are owed one, I'm not going to give theirs out unless, maybe for a couple months, but we'll see. But anyway, so that's item number 1 that's going to be added to the Lord of the Isle package. And that will be sent to the 6 people, I think, or however many, 8 people or whatever, who've already gone in. The Lord, and the reason I'm talking about this now is I'd wanted to talk about it a while, and I actually started teasing some of this stuff earlier. I didn't have that particular item on the list earlier, but because I just found those. But the reason I hadn't was because I think List showed you guys a house that he was using that was one that was from another art kit that he'd cleaned up. But it was just basically an overwhelming task, and the performance of it was not acceptable. And basically, Damon, lead artist, kind of took it away from List, because List also was falling behind on his other stuff because he was fighting with it so much. And he's been working on cleaning it up so that it is actually now, he says the only thing left to do on it is... I think he said deco. Oh no, I think he did deco surfaces. I think he has to get the doors so that they're actually hooked up. Just because he didn't like the doors that are on it. But it's actually very close. So it will almost definitely happen for R74. But we'll patch it in whenever it goes live and send that out to the people. So that's actually getting close to being done. Let's see. Another thing that's going to be going in there. If Ravalox answered his phone, he could talk more about this. But Lord of the Isle people will be getting a free ticket to the SodaCon 2020. Again, this is something, it is... the guys who were doing it did a great job with it. but they basically were just overwhelmed with some things and wanted to give other people a shot to see what they could do. And this is one that it's going to be, SodaCon 2020 is going to be SodaCon, but it's also going to mix in a lot of Ultima Dragon stuff as well, and also kind of be a SodaCon plus Dragon meetup plus Hobloth, which Hobloth is practically a Dragon meetup anyways. It's going to be a little more Hoblothian style in that it'll probably be down on Richard's property, and people are welcome to, I think they're going to be welcome. And again, this has got to be okay. Richard, I believe, is okay with it. This is Winfield and Ravlox and some of the other guys who are behind that. Merrick Dragon, who may be, yeah, Merrick Dragon right there. Yeah, he's also involved with it. But anyways, but yeah, so there'll be opportunities for camping, there'll be sword fighting, there'll be, I also mentioned, we'll see if we can get this going here. We've got to check the clock. I think we've still got tons of time. But doing a Hobloth Ale where the team gets together and brews, actually does a local brew. It'll probably have to be an IPA because here in, like, you kind of need to store, there's temperatures you have to store it at, and no one's got like a fridge or anything. But I've done a lot of beers, but I always do IPAs and then keg them. But anyways, I'm going to see about that as well, getting a keg in there. Merrick Dragon says he can make beer and mead. Yeah, so everybody taking their own beer and mead. And then we can turn it into a SodaCon plus Hobloth plus Dragon plus food poisoning extravaganza. Nah, I'm sure we'll be totally fine and safe. But anyways, you guys need to get that on your schedule. I've mentioned that to him. Oh, and thank you, Vulcan Jedi. And Mojito is sitting right behind me. So anyway, so that's another thing. You guys are going to get a ticket. I think it's a ticket for you and for significant other to SodaCon. So one of the other things I'd mentioned, and again, all the existing people get this, is a pot upgrade that will come free with it and you don't have to use it on you don't have to own a pot. If you have a pot you're going to be putting making your town, you can just give it to them and be the favorite person at the pot meetups. But anyways, it'll get a size upgrade. If you are at a Metropolis, there's 3 sizes above Metropolis, and this is not, like, adds a little bit. It adds the same part from what's right below Metropolis, like, it's not City, I forget what the thing below it is. But anyways, there's Metropolis, and then the same size, as much bigger as Metropolis is, and the other one, there's 2 more sizes officially, and then there's a 3rd one. That's what the Devopolis is, where that's basically just like how many houses can you find footprint for. That's how many will fit. But anyways, if you have a pot that you're in, if there's 2 Lord of the Isles, we can handle that and expand the pot. The other thing I'm planning on doing is, if you guys saw the 2020 schedule that we're going to talk about here in a minute, and we are going to be doing some new town templates if anybody wants to change templates, and planning on making those guys actually larger to handle more square footage as well and be a little more spread out. All right, running the prizing. See if this works. Let's see. So anyway, so that's the next item on the list, and I'll click the publish button on this in a minute. So yes, so the cassette covers, we got that already, and I will be shipping those out. Let's see. Oop, looks like that's already on there. Hold on. I'm editing this as I read it out to you. Of course, you already get the one choice of any one house currently in the store. The special lot that goes with the Lord of the Isle, there's already a special lot that comes with it, but that's going to be changed so it does not count towards pot square footage limits. So you can basically add it to a pot as well without taking up square footage. I know some people dislike castles and keeps or whatever in their pots specifically because they eat up a ton of square footage. And let's see, I'm trying to read down the list here. A Calabeth, the ticket. Then one last one here, which I will try to get rigged up and screenshots of soon, is I'm going to make, just because you guys know how the pot decos work. Part of why we have them as you can only place them in a pot is because if you could place them on a lot, then yeah, you've got the guy with 4,000 cats on his lot who's trolling his neighbors. If it's the governor, he can do whatever he wants to. You can always pick a different pot if you don't like your governor. But since this is a very limited item, I'm going to make a very limited Loti pot deco that I'm calling a pet drake. It's actually a scaled down dragon. It's not a pet dragon, but it's a small scaled down dragon that can be either placed on a lot or on a pot. That will be a small, and I'm making it unkillable, like as in you can't attack it, cat style. But it will be a small pet dragon that will just be a lot deco. And this will be something, so again, you can either put it on your own lot to annoy your neighbors, or you can put it on the governor to put it on their pot. So I'm trying to remember. It seems like I missed something there. Of course, you're still going to get the tour of Richard's place and all that jazz. You also will get dinner. We'll see how the dinner goes. We're still trying to figure out where we're going to do the dinner, how we're going to do the dinner. This will be a special dinner, though. We may, depending on who all is involved, we may do one dinner in New York at Richard's and one dinner down here somewhere, possibly here. Don't tell the wife. We'll see. But also tons of other stuff in there. Seems like I'm missing something. I'll get this live here now. Let's see, we got the prosperity, we got the end game. You still get the Lord British rings crafted by Lord British. I heard yesterday, I missed it, but apparently he was in game fighting Fizzle.
Yeah, there's a video floating around somewhere of that. I saw it posted in the forums. I'll have to find it again. But I think Torque took a video of it.
I think I saw that linked on Twitter. I'm sure Richard cheated, right? There's no way he would beat Fizzle.
Probably so.
All right, I'm going to click update on this thing. Bam. I clicked update. So anyways, that new stuff is on there. I know I missed something, but I will get back in there and try to look into those things. Let's see, what other stuff? I know I'd said a few things I was going to talk about. What's on my list of stuff to talk about for the live stream? Oh, Lodi updates. Pot placement order for episode 2. So this is one of those things I've had some people pinging me now that the continent is getting very close to going live. Should be this release. List is under the gun, but I think he'll get it done. But we need to start talking about pot placement orders. So the plan was, and again, this is one of those things, it can't be the Wild West. We want to have some order to it. We're probably going to set up a Google spreadsheet. We'll share the order of people. We need to go and pull the order in which either the upgrade was purchased or the pot was purchased and get them in there. But there's going to be, again, as always, there's going to be plenty of room all around. And prizes. Where's my prize caller?
Well, I guess that's me.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so it looks like we have got Dorn Slate. You've won a Cordovan Heart. Congratulations. Let's see here. Vosh Halen has won the Ornate Marching Band shirt and hat. What is this? Falcon Rain Feather. You have won the 5-piece one-man band. What else we got here? We got the Red Hammers Minion won the Ornate Grand Piano. And Viper has won the Large Fancy Pavilion. Congratulations.
Okay, congratulations. We'll do another drawing in about 24 minutes. Exactly 24 minutes. But let's see. So yeah, so that's, again, we'll publish something official. But it is basically going to be the order in which things came in. We may do something like if you don't like your selection, like and you have an upgrade token that will just give you equivalent in crowns or whatever, or something like that. But I think everybody will find plenty of spots over there. One of the challenges is that because we're releasing the map early, We're going to put placeholder spots down for scenes, and we'll probably have some scene names. I've given some scene descriptions along the way, but you guys probably won't have a ton of detail about these scenes. Oh, and thank you very much for Karen Navon for the resub, and Parson Barr, and Aaron Pope for the sub. Thank you, guys. Aaron Pope, a new sub. Thank you. But now, let's get to talking about 2020 stuff. And let me go look through the questions. You guys have any specific 2020 stuff? Because if not, I'm just going to start going down the list and talking through some of the items. In fact, I'll do that first. I'll probably be talking more about all that stuff in the coming weeks, like answering questions. That'll probably be my daily stream. Will be answering questions on 2020 vision stuff. Again, I think people were pretty happy with what was in there. I didn't see any reason why not. I've been getting a few of the why isn't item X, Y, or Z in there. Oh, and thank you very much, Tazar ODE. Oh, a 10x sub. Been with me a while here. I guess that's how long I've been streaming. But going into the whole list, again, this is it was differently made than the other stuff in that I looked at who we had, who we were going to have, and the difficulty and risk of each feature, talking it through so we actually understood a little bit about what was going into it. The more questionable it was, the more we talked about it. But just going down the list here, episode 2 Overworld Map. Again, we should get this live this release. If it is not live this release, it's going live as soon as it comes out so you guys can start walking around it. We will probably start letting people pick spots, and then we will do incremental patches out as those things happen. Every day or two we'll probably do a live patch so people can see which spots are reserved. Let's see, but you guys know that's coming. You've already seen some screenshots of that. Halls of Balance is another one that's coming up. Now this is Chillblains 2.0 is kind of what I've been calling it. And for those who don't know, that's the Compendium of Pain and Suffering. The challenge dungeon used to be called Chillblains. For reasons I won't go into. But anyways, the second version of that's coming. That's a big part of the balancing, combat balancing stuff that I've been talking about. There's going to be a little bit of combat balancing that goes in this release. There's going to be more that goes in next release. And then next release, I'm hoping to have Halls of Balance live. And that will be the scene that we use to try and balance. Duh, the name. Bard Skill Tree. Again, this is one I'd hope to have it live this week. I know Snugsy hoped I'd get it live this week as well, but just too many things came up. If you missed it today, my worst nightmare happened, which is I woke up to find our Perforce server offline. This is the most important server we have, and the RAID controller on it said, you know what? I think I'm going to drop 4 out of 6 drives all of a sudden, and these are enterprise SSDs. They're not a problem with the drives. But it dropped 4 of them. I had to spend the morning from 4 a.m. until 10 a.m. stressing over that and fighting to get that done. But it's been one small disaster after another blocking me on the Bard Tree. But it will go live for 74. The question, though, is the Bard Tree was supposed to be in episode 2. Episode 2 skill tree that's... you get by going to episode 2 somewhere, but we'll see. That may not be the case. I may just have it elsewhere. That kind of been one of the pitches we'd had again, as people are like, what do I get with episode 2? We know here's what you get with episode 2. Scenes specific to episode 2 that are new, that are on the continent, that are not pots, you won't be able to enter unless you have episode 2. Again, this will probably at the end of 2020, around that time. Actually, it'll be sometime after that, because I don't think we're going to declare episode 2 done at the end of 2020. But if you want to get into those scenes before then, you have to get episode 2. It's like $19 on the front web page store. You do not have to go there. People can bring back items for them. That's one of the baits we were talking about using, though, was if you want episode 2 and you want episode 2 skill trees, you had to do it. John Marcus stops working after 32,000. These are not HP drives. No. Well aware. Well aware of all that stuff. I read all the dev or all the IT forums, among other things. And if they were, I would have patched them by now. But anyways, for those who don't know, there's a specific drive. There's Hewlett Packard drives have a bug in them that if they go past 32,000 hours, they just lock up and lose all data and go away. Not a very good bug for a hard drive that's supposed to be used for enterprise. But anyways, Bard Tree's coming. You guys know about that. That's going to be a music-based tree. That's going to be an entirely new tree that will play a little bit different than some of the others. Again, I will get that live on QA as soon as possible. I've been doing a pretty good job keeping QA up to date. I'll continue to do that. That is our plan, is to leave QA up. This is also requiring us to make some changes in how we do our QA, our forum stuff, because normally we do QA, and then when QA goes live, we kill the QA forums and we move them over to be the live forums, but we don't actually have QA forums now, and I got to work on some changes for that. But, major combat balance pass for quarter one. This is going to filter out each release. There's going to be a number of things that come in. I have lots of people whispering in my ear. I'm looking at you, Fizzle. And also paying attention to metrics. That's one of those things you'll learn in pretty much any field, but in games especially. You can't always listen to what people say. Sometimes you have to observe what they do. And that's one of those things. I'm trying to observe what they do and figure out why they do that. And that's one of those things where it's easy to observe, is what skills get used, what skills do not get used, why do they not get used. We don't want skills that only get used 7 times a day on the server. And there's actually a few of them that are like that. So, oh, Zol, whatever. I like Fizzle better. Shouldn't have put that F there. No such thing as a silent F there. Anyways, next one coming up, Prospector Canyon. This is the working title for a new mine scene. It's going to be a slot canyon. That's basically, rather than it being a dungeon, it will feel kind of dungeon-like in that it's a path and breaking off and all that type of stuff, rather than being a big open area. But there'll be wide spots. There'll be encounters and stuff in them. But it's going to be a slot canyon that's full of ore. Again, we thought the miners out there were a little pasty and needed to get a little sun. Let's see, custom NPC combos. This is the thing, Wizard Smoke is working on it. I know you can tell he's working on it because he broke some conversation stuff for existing NPCs. But this is, he still believes this is going to go live with this release. This is using the Ink tool, Inkly, whatever it is. It is a branching dialogue tree tool for NPC dialogue. He is getting close on that. That should go live with R74, and I'm sure there will be a ton of questions and a ton of feedback and hopefully a ton of NPCs showing up. I have had a question of how we plan on monetizing on that. Like if you're going to have to pay to have custom NPC conversations, and the plan we've talked about is that we will give you an NPC that can have a fair amount of conversation. 10 different branches or some 20 different branches. We're basically going to put it in and see what feels good that you can do a normal NPC. And then the only thing we're going to sell is we'll either sell like maybe some fancier looking NPCs, or we'll sell, have some that have extensive dialogue. So if you want to have some guy who tells the entire story of your town, if you're one of those guys who, you guys won't know what I'm talking about, but Scotty on our team, he can't write an email that is a 3-line email. He is not a bullet point kind of guy. He's going to tell a story. Scotty would have to have the paid for guy, because he likes to write a lot. But again, we'll see. We're not trying or planning on making it super small. We want to make sure you guys can have lots of NPCs and that have a good amount of dialogue without having to pay for it. Because again, this is something that you're adding to the game. You're improving the game for us. So we definitely don't want to make that something rare. But again, it's through contributions and buying the slightly cooler stuff that's not pay to win is how we support the game, and do things like support adding Elgarion to the team. You are paying.
Yes, I plan to do a lot of scripted NPC dialogue, one for my town, but also if I ever have an opportunity to do it for other reasons, I would definitely dive into it. And I'll constantly teaching people how to do that once I learn, which I've already kind of looked at the syntax. It doesn't look that difficult at all. So yeah,
I've played around with it a little bit. again, most of what I've done with it, the decision making on it came from one, looking over the code, looking over their openness, looking over the forums and communication they had with people, which they're freaking amazing on it in terms of getting back like the same day, and then also Undone, Bobby, who's going to be joining us the team. Oh, well, you're not going to meet him next week, but if Ravlox were here, he'd get to meet him. I don't know that he's met Bobby, but he'll be at the team lunch next week. But he uses it on the other game he works on, Saga of Leucemia, which is his game, which can't promise anything, but they're kind of in a still trying to figure things out mode. They've got a lot of cool features, but I think they're going to be doing a kind of a vertical slice or something like that sometime in the future. I don't know if any of that was public, so I'm not going to say when. But I told him he needed to stress test that as well, and I'd send over some Shroudians. I don't know if that's what people like being called. Is Shroudian a good thing?
Shroudian? Kind of like Hoblothian, too.
Yeah, it's a very different type of game than ours. It's kind of like when people are like, why would you try to work with Pantheon and Crowfall? Again, this is a very different type of game than ours, just like Pantheon and also like Crowfall. But anyways, let's see. Major loot and reward overhaul. This has started some. I have a lot more work to do on this. But this is, again, our goal for this. We know this is probably the number one thing people comment on, the long-term players, is they do not feel like they are meeting what they expect to have in a play loop, which is you get together with your friends, you go out on an adventure. At the end of the night, somebody has an upgrade. At least somebody, if not everybody, gets some type of little improvement, upgrade type thing. So some of this can be done through gear. So some of it is loot, some of it is just going out and feeling like you have something of value at the end of the night. We've made a few steps towards this, but we're going to continue to try to make this a much better situation. Again, for in-game players, you don't expect to get something every time you go out, but you do expect to get something cool. So we're going to be working on more improvements, improving that loot loop. We're going to be doing some things like making crafted items sell for more gold. They're still not going to sell for a profit, but they will sell for more gold, so you don't feel like you have to salvage them, because then that can get put back into the loop. And I'm looking at that right now. I actually was looking at that this last weekend, diving into that code, and it's scary code. It's one of those things you hate changing it, because if I do it wrong, then it explodes the economy and creates profit loops, and gold goes through the roof. But anyway, so loot is a major focus of the first quarter, and that's one that we're going to work on at every release. Basically, is just letting you guys know that should be a bullet point every release we'll have on it. Major loot and reward overhaul. Let's see. More server ranking categories. Second ring slot. Check. Improved deco.
Is that in, like, now?
Yes, I just released that patch. Improved deco item scaling options. Check. I don't know if that made it to QA. I'll get that to QA if that's not on there. I've shown that on a stream, though. That's already done. Lua feature expansion. That's continuing to happen. I need to get together with some people now that some guys have stepped up, like Devil Cult and others, where they really have a clear idea of things that they need and they want me to fix desperately. GM feature expansion. Again, this is something that's been pretty popular, although, as usual, like I make it thinking like people are going to hold PvP tournaments and they'll use it for the PvP tournaments. Dance parties. They use it at dance parties. Always dance parties. That's okay. You can do some fun stuff with it. I'll get some more things in as we go too. Tiered subscription options. You guys don't care about that, but it does give you guys a way if you're one of these people. I know some people have like 5 subscriptions or 10 subscriptions or something crazy like that. It'll give you a way you can do one subscription, hopefully, and not have to do like a bunch of fake accounts and then transfer stuff between them. Let's see. Maps. So this is a big one. We're still talking about this. I don't think I'm going to get through my list by the end of this stream, by the way. Hold on. Gia Treg is saying the crafting. Yes, I'm going to try to get the patch out that will remove 2 of the same rings in the next few days, by the way. Let's see. So, map. So this is one that, again, there's been a little thrashing back and forth, and we've changed and underestimated some things. Us underestimate difficulty of things. Really, it's more a matter of underestimating the content work involved with it. But the maps, we will be going back. The plan is to go back to the old Soda map, get it on a good server, and improve the performance of it. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we did have it on CDN before, and the performance was still not great. So we've got to look into what's going on with the performance of it. And by not great, I mean horrible. But we've got to look into what was going on with the performance of it and come up with a plan. But it was horrible on the web page. It was horrible in the client. So we just need to figure out what's going on and what we can do to speed things up. My belief is still it is because we were sending so many tiny, tiny files together. Literally tens of thousands of files could be sent for a single map. And even if we cached them, it was still pretty non-performant. But we're going to move back to that. And the other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be inviting a limited set of the community to come in and help with that. So that they can be the guys, if somebody has a problem, they can come in and either help with, possibly even help with code, or help with data stuff on it. I know that like Apple Rust and a few others are going to work with, Ravlox is going to lead it up. Let's see. New creatures. So we've been without new creatures for a while. This is one that we've been putting off and putting off and putting off. But for Q1 probably has the least exciting sounding stuff. But we're going to be doing one which is, this is one the tamers will like. Q Snug's giving me 100 bits. But we will be adding big cats is one of the plans. This one's kind of been a no-brainer for a while. People have wanted it for a while. But having big cats both as things you can fight and also things that you can tame. There you go. Man, you're slow on the draw, Snugs. Oh. And this will include not just right now, and again, this is one where we will be using some existing content. We will be improving it. We have to do some animations for it because I'm pretty sure that the existing models out there, even if we went and found a model that was perfect and bought it, it's not going to have a animation for a lion dancing. I know it's strange. You would think that would be included with everything, as lions dancing. But I've already found several. My target for it is tiger, lion, and looking for saber-tooth, and seeing if we can get a saber-tooth tiger in. So we'll see. But there's going to be a lot of stuff in there. But maybe that could be like the destroyer pet as a saber-tooth or something like that. The other one that we're going to do, and this is also kickstarting our plan. We were doing some charity stuff, lots of charity stuff for a while. When we switched from being kind of an asset store to being in-game for how you buy stuff and deliver stuff, like for those who don't know, in the old days we had like a store that had literally thousands of items in it, and you'd go through web pages, and it basically was a huge turnoff to new players coming to the game. They'd come and see the game, and they'd see this massive cash shop and be like, no, I think I'm done. And also moving it in-game means that many players, in fact, most players, you can buy your crowns in-game and purchase stuff without ever actually spending real money. But anyways, we used to do a lot of charity stuff. We didn't have a plan. When we moved from the cash shop to all in-game stuff, there were a lot of problems with keeping that stuff around. And also just with the company transitioning, as you guys saw back in October, we wanted to keep everything clean. But now we're ready. I think we're up to the point where we can do it. The plan is we will have items in the in-game shop, in the crown shop. When you purchase those, they'll have some dollar amount that we're going to give to charity. It'll be roughly what it was before. That's kind of been the problem, is when we had it in if we put something up for, buy for $9, here's an autism tree or whatever. I forget what they call the autism tree. But
puzzle tree.
Puzzle tree, that's it. Yes, the puzzle tree to help benefit research on autism. But it was clear, $9. Okay, well, we can say we can give $2, and we know you gave us $9, they get $2. We take $7 or whatever for delivery and everything else, and for managing all that junk. But when we put it into the game, how much is 900 crowns? They're not going to let us pay 200 crowns to the charity. We've got to come up with some way. So we're just going to have you buy it for X number of crowns. we say how much we're going to be giving. And I'm going to make a big deal about, because that's the other thing, is for a long time we didn't like make a big deal about any of that stuff. We just kind of, sent it off and didn't make a big thing. So I'll make sure, now that I'm updating Twitter multiple times a day, I'll make sure that's one of my Twitters is posting a check or something that I send off to them. But anyways, the new charity pet is going to be just kind of the biggest thing going on right now in the world that is horrible, is the bushfires, pardon me. But so we're going to be trying to get, I already found several that have been approved by our lead artist that we can use. But we're going to be cleaning it up. Again, got to add the dance emotes and all the other stuff, but getting a koala bear in there. So you guys can look forward to having a koala bear pet. Non-combat, of course. Maybe I'll throw one in, like scale it up by a factor of 5 and give it flaming eyes or something like that and make it a boss mob somewhere. But planning on making it non-combat pet. So that'll be the second creature. There's also going to be one secret creature, which I have identified, but we're not going to tell you what it is, just because we got to save some stuff in there. Let's see, party size. So this is one that's been requested for a while, and this is one I may move up. I was actually looking at this code already and trying to evaluate what the best option is going to be for it. But party size, this is one where players have wanted a raid for a while. And so the traditional way games do raids is they're usually like, you have a raid and it is, you have a basically groups of groups, so it's a party of parties or whatever. But looking at how we handle things, the easiest way to get there that also I haven't really seen a major downside to it is just letting players, expanding the party size if players want to have a raid. So you can have a raid party of up to 24 players, and it's basically just a party of 24 players. Now, there's some things that people have concerns over. One is, oh my god, I'm dividing experience 24 ways, I'm not going to get any experience. Okay, so remember, when experience is delivered, it's delivered to people within a fairly small area. I forget what the distance is, but like maybe 5 meters or 10 meters of the thing. So if you're in a big raid, unless you're all fighting in the exact same spot, you're not going to be sharing experience with those other guys. If you guys split up and you're just kind of doing it as a big way to do like a big friendly group. Evil Midnight. What are we going to raid exactly? That is going to be the next, some of the other content that's coming up. Again, the new Halls of Balance Challenge dungeon will be one that will be there. But there's some scenes out there that do handle 24 people. Just not many places that handle 24 people in the same space. Again, because right now, as people have posted videos, most things in the game, a really powerful, skilled player can solo it. But again, that's coming with episode 2 stuff. Halls of Vapor. Very constructive, J. Lauren. All right. Let's see. But raid party of up to 24. This is also not just for PvE. This is also for PvP. If you've been in a PvP group, I'm sure we'll see this tomorrow with the Black Sails event, which is having a PvP event where you have more than 8 people on a side, and then you're trying to group with multiple groups of people who are supposed to be your allies, and you're constantly hitting them with the friendly fire stuff. It's good to know and not be able to kill them, and it just helps with the PvP events. So that's the other big thing. But again, this is one that is easier than it originally looked like, and I may be bumping that up to be early in Q3 or Q1. We're still in Q1. Verbose mode. So this one is, there's some of you guys out there, as much as for a long time we said, don't worry about the math, don't think about what's going on behind the scenes, just play and have fun. Yeah, that you guys don't like doing that. There's a lot of you guys who really want to know the math so you can understand what's going on. So there's going to be a verbose mode where it will open up and you'll have an extra tab. Basically, like now where you saw I've added the Lua tab, there's going to be another one that you can open up that will be verbose combat. It will be verbose. It will be a lot of spam, but it will be showing you what's going on and all the calculations going on and things. That'll help you guys. That'll help us with bugs and let you guys understand more what's going on. So, one of the goals for Q1, this is a big one here, is killing attenuation. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of big fans of attenuations out there. So we really can't do this right now. There's some scenes that are challenging. That you, if you work hard, you can get 800,000 experience points an hour. There are some scenes, if you work hard, you can get 5 million experience per hour. But the thing, so for one, we've got to get those 5 million scenes down. We've got to get the 800,000 scenes up and get them all kind of in the target range of what we want. Is for if you're a really high level player, we expect you to be making like in the 1 million to 2 million per hour if you're not screwing around. And you're working at it. So that means the good news is, yay, attenuation is going to go away. Bad news is I'm going to be changing upper tiers. It's so far overdue. I'm not planning on changing it dramatically. I am planning on adding more abilities to the creatures is going to be the pass for R74. I've already got some of those things started. I will probably swap out some of the creatures that come up in upper tiers. But it's basically held the game hostage and forced attenuation on the entire game just because there's a couple of very unbalanced scenes that people are very passionate about. So for R74, so initially, and I already have this on, I believe I already integrated it to QA, the attenuation will only hit players over 100. Except, I put that in, that took minutes to put in. Well, more than minutes, took me half an hour to find it, and minutes to put it in once I found what needed to change. The challenge with that, though, is you guys have multiple characters on the same account, and somebody, against my wishes a while back, went and changed it so the experience pool is shared between characters. So that's caused so many problems. This is yet another one. So that's one of the things I may be looking at is ripping that out so you don't share between characters. If that ends up being harder than I expected, then, you know, we'll leave it alone. But it means if we do have that in there, we can't have attenuation where it only affects characters below a certain level. That's actually something that Zol recommended, and I was like, yeah, that's I think we can do that. But that's one that it's that one thing of the shared experience pools means that, well, I'll go log on to my level 90 guy and set him at upper tiers and, you know, get 6 million experience points an hour to level up my other guy. Anyways, so we'll see. But attenuation is going away in Q1. I'm not going to say exactly when, but I am working on it. You can expect, again, some changes upper tiers and continue. I may bump up the number to 3 million. For those who are curious, I do understand the math in the attenuation stuff right now, and I don't like it at all. It is not anything like what I intended it to be like. But anyways, I may improve that as well, but it has some weird quirks to it. And a lot of it is the same stuff players have identified, but were denied for a long time. Not by me. Let's see. Build systems. So this is one that you guys don't see. I thought I'd put it out here just because I spent a significant amount of time on it already, and it's going to continue to eat up some time, which is us delivering builds to you guys fast is important. It lets us keep a QA build up to date. Which I think is somewhat important. More importantly, if there's some catastrophic critical thing that goes wrong, some serious bug we missed in our extensive testing, that we can get a patch out quick for it. But anyways, it has a lot of benefits to us, and that's the other things. A lot of times we were planning our everything around builds taking 8+ hours, which is how long they took. Right now we're down to under 5 hours. In the next few months, we'll get that down to in the 2-hour range. Already have the plans to get there. We're close. We're so close. So anyways, so that's Q1. Do we have enough time to do the rest? I'm way overdue here. I'm going to do the prizing. I'm going to go through Q2 a little quicker than what I just did because that was way too slow, and I'm not going to get to any of your answers or questions. Leave your questions, though. Come to my next stream. I will do it. Answer questions again on my next stream. And I'll start with the ones that were asked during this stream. Where was I? Okay, so now into Q2. So this is second quarter. And again, all these things, these are targets. Some things may slip. Some things will probably move up as we look at, you know, things that are really low-hanging fruit that are going to improve the quality of life for you guys. That's really our goal. If you read my 2020 thing, I've sat down and looked. I've done a few different promotions, a few different ad buys We are doing an ad buy right now, but it's in the modest range. But the real, I believe strongly, the path forward for the project to get a larger audience, which I consider to be the biggest thing, is not through trying to do a bunch of crazy, spend a bunch of money to get people into the project, because one, that also cuts back on how much money we have for doing dev stuff, but to instead focus on improving the project, improving the quality of life, improving all these things that tend to let people go away, as was hinted at earlier, giving you guys some in-game content, improving in-game crafting, episode 2 stuff, and giving you guys new things to find to get you excited, to keep you guys around and continue to bring people in slowly. We focused a lot, or spent a lot of time working on the starting experience, which did show some benefits, but I think we've kind of got to the point that we're rapidly in the diminishing return. So improving the starting experience is not going to fix things dramatically. It may help some, but I strongly believe the best thing we can do to increase our audience is to keep people around by continuing to improve the game, to make it the game you guys want, by giving you more things to keep you guys entertained. And it has the side effect of making the game more fun for the guys watching the stream right now. So that's the plan for improving things. We're still spending money on ads. I actually had a couple more people tell me they saw an ad and they were excited, which, of course, I've been running ads forever. It's just how much I spend on the ads. But there's actually an ad going right now, trying some new stuff. I'm targeting the Linux guys, since we have supported Linux all this time, but we still have a fairly small Linux group. And it's also a pretty easy group to advertise to, because not many games focus on Linux users. So that's one of the current ones I'm trying. Thank you, Gaylorn Hammer Throw. Apparently Linux, but yes, we still support Linux. That will be dropped in episode 2, but we still support it now. I'm kidding, Gaylorn. We're not gonna drop Linux. Just trolling you guys. But anyways, so into Q2 stuff. So again, I don't have time to go through these things, and in fact, why don't you read out our do your job? Oh, it didn't come up. Where's the thing? I didn't do my job, apparently. Oh, it's queued. Hold on. Let me... somebody checked in something and it's doing all the integrations. I just moved to the front of the queue. It'll be out in a minute here. We'll do the prizing in just a minute. But anyways, I'm going to have to tear through these Q2 things pretty quick here. But looking for group. This is actually not looking for group. We're going to be the current, it seems the shortest path to get to having a queue system is to expand some of the stuff that's in looking for group and adding to that. So that's in Q2. This is so we can have queued for different areas, different scenes. Again, this is one of those things that it helps PvP, but we can use it for helping other stuff as well. We already have some of the UI and some of the tech behind it that will be shared between those two things. Weather system updates. This is one that actually came up, as I noticed I still had snow on in the latest build. But this came up when I was looking through the weather, and a lot of our weather is ugly. So one is we're going to be improving it in terms of visuals, at least for the snow. We're finally going to get to addressing some of the snowing indoors stuff. Some scenes work as they're supposed to, many do not. And it was really obvious this Christmas when every time I'd go into somebody's house, half the time there'd be snow coming through the roof on me. But there's going to be more variety. There's going to be some other options in there as well. It's also, the weather is not exciting. We're going to be improving that. Quest system. So this is, again, we're continuing to expand the NPC stuff that you guys will be getting. We also have our own quest system that's going to be behind that. That will be using some of the same custom NPC stuff. So the quest... initially, this will probably end up with some simple stuff as we move on to Quest 2.0. For those who missed again, this is one I could talk for an hour on any one of these topics, but the initial quest system, our problem with it was not that we don't feel we did a great story. We did a great story, but the great story was ruined by bugs in the system. The system was not built from the ground up to be a full-featured quest system, and had a lot of quirks to it, and a lot of stuff like many of the pieces of data are stored locally, and many of the flags were stored locally. And it was really easy for players to get into these weird states depending on how they did things. So the new quest system is going to be from the ground up built with integration test to verify it can never get into the bad states. It's going to be using some more modern stuff and actually using some modern database verification stuff to make sure everything checks out. And there's paths on things. But anyways, it's going to be designed as more of a modern quest system. It will still share a lot of the same attributes of the old one, though. But anyways, that one's going to, the first version of that, some of the first quests will start trickling out in Q2 as our proof of concept. And thank you very much, Gaylorn U235 and DG Gnome, and Snugs and all the other guys. I'm not sure what you have to do to get a hype train going, but that's not enough for a hype train. But anyway, so quest system. And again, this is in Q2. You'll start seeing that roll out in smaller quests. The main quest line will start rolling out in Q3, and that will not roll out to the live servers. The current plan, and we'll see if Richard talks me out of it or not, but the current plan is that is going to be going to the QA server, and that will not be usable. You will not see any of that on live. You will see some of the NPCs who are there, but the plan is to make it so basically you just can't start the quest on live. And this is because we want to hold back that. There will be other quests coming in, but we aren't going to have the main quest line on there. The main quest line will be playable on QA. I now have the QA data stuff set up so I can quickly do a move live data over to QA, which for the quest stuff is actually really important because that'll give you guys a reset. So you guys look at basically get a quest reset pretty much every release on QA. Let's see. Steam purchase options. This is another one you guys probably don't care about, but it's another one as we sit here. Anything we can do that is low-hanging fruit for us for improving revenue we get without unnecessarily taxing a small set of people is good because it helps us expand the dev team, add more people, as I have my example here of expanding the dev team and the goodness of it. But this is one that will help spread, like bringing in Steam people. Right now, I'm not sure if many people know this, but if you're on Steam, the game is free. You can, with a click, get the game, get into game, play the game. If you want to buy something, you then have to go to our website, connect your Steam account, hook up all this stuff, do all that stuff, then go and put in do credit card information, do all this. There's a bunch of hoops to jump through, and we make it really hard. If you're a Steam player, we make you come to our website and do all the annoying stuff that everybody has to do. So you have to do the same stuff twice. So anyways, this is getting the Steam purchase, so it's a Steam purchase on the Steam page. And this will help, again, spread. We don't want, as much as we appreciate having some people who carry more of the load to improve, to help fund the game, we want to make sure we spread that around as much as possible. Let's see, pot customization. So this is one we have talked a little bit about, but I sat down and looked into what actually can be done with it. So this isn't you get to go and design your entire pot stuff. This is more for fixing some things. So it's, removing trees. You already have removed trees and grass. This is, you can add in grassy patches. You can add in trees. You can place stuff to change the terrain texture, so you can actually update the texture. And this is something that can be used for some places, instead of paths where you put down stones, you can go and drop texture blocks down, and it'll change the texture in for a path. You can go and drop flattening blocks, and this is basically just anybody who's done a pot knows that sometimes you get out there and it's oh, this looks like a perfect place to drop a town lot. And you sit there and you put it down and you twist it. And of course, only governors know what I'm talking about here, but people who've done big decos know. And try twist it. Is that right? Can I get it? And it never will turn green for you. And even more frustrating, sometimes it'll turn green split second. But anyway, so this is going to give you guys a way that you can go and flatten out areas. So all these things will be done. The only challenge we have in these things is getting them to dynamically update. The terrain can be kind of choppy if you update it on the fly. We're going to see how bad it is. It may be one that only the person who's placing them sees it until other people rezone. But we'll see how we'll see how bad it is. It's a big chunk of data we have to reprocess and reset. So we'll see though. I think it'll probably work okay, honestly. We're not talking like 2-second hitches. We're talking like quarter-second hitch. Let's see. Next up, Lua. Again, continuing to expand Lua. This is when we're going to get into the Lua can trigger stuff that goes to the server. That we will have a throttling system in place. This is, I know for you guys, you really want this. This will open up a lot of things in terms of what you can do. Like, just really will free the UI, let you do emotes, let you do other stuff, let you possibly do some chain stuff. Again, though, this is one of the places what we worry about is we want to make sure people can't do bots. We're going to have basically a one button click equals a one item execution rule for it. Again, I'm doing horrible on the going fast thing. Did the thing come out? Oh. Is it done?
Nope. Not yet.
All right, let me go check on the pricing.
Must be some big prizes it's processing, right?
It looks like it finished 4 minutes ago. You're failing me, bot. Yeah, it says it finished 4 minutes ago. I'm just going to run it again and see what happens. If it doesn't work, I can open it up and see who's in it. All right, let me get back to the talking stuff here, though. Skills, expanded skill trees. Again, I've talked about this too. Some skill trees really need at least 2 or 3 more skills. Most skill trees will be getting at least 2 skills, though. These will come filtering in probably a dozen a release for probably starting around Q3 is when they'll start. We'll be getting some here in the first 3 months. But again, this is another thing for the in-game players that you'll have other in-game options and things that you can spend on. Let's see. Theater system. So this is one that is, again, we talked about it, and Richard, this has been a Richard dream forever, and we're going to make it come true, but probably in a totally different way than what Richard had envisioned. And again, this is an implementation in how we think you guys can use it. Rather than Richard, my belief is Richard's view of it was kind of a monolithic. Uh-oh, I just got kicked out. Why did I get kicked out? Oh, I timed out? What kind of background is that? We're just going to put ourselves up there. It's embarrassing. Oh, now you're over my head. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
How about that? There we go. That's pretty good. We're just talking anyways. We're not actually playing. But anyways, the theater system is, I think Richard had it envisioned as like a monolithic. Here's a theater that you can go to and do stuff in the theater. So what I really, when I started breaking it down, this is another one of those that, talking at a really high level doesn't get you to the point of understanding what's needed to implement. But if you actually dig into it, that's really what you guys need is you need some more tools to let you create a theater, some exclusion spaces, so you can basically place a volume on the stage that is, if you're not set up to be a owner or a pot person, or not a pot, a participant of the lot in some way, at least some permissions on the lot, then you won't be able to go into it. And just having an exclusion zone like that, having a zone that you can place that can limit what type of chat players can use. If you want to keep the audience quiet, adding some more deco lights that can actually be directed and can actually be pointed at stuff, so you can set up lighting for things. Giving you guys some more things that you already have, but expanding on them, like having some VFX stuff that you can do for them. Having these type things, and then just giving you a few decos that are things so you can build a theater a little better. So these are the type of things that we're going to be building, but again, they don't need to be monolithic, and a lot of those things are things that you guys want anyways. Like, again, going back to dance parties, I know you guys would love to have some better spotlights and some better stuff you can do with lighting and effects for those things. But again, the theater system will be coming, but it will be coming in multiple chunks. Let's see, Port of Bones. This will be a new episode NPC town that's built, that's already been designed by Sanyo, that will be built. It's rather than being a port like Brittany, it's actually more of a piratey port, as the name might give away, of atolls, reefs, floating platforms, wrecked ships that actually make up a town. All right, it said it finished. Did it actually finish? Buzz. Bot is on strike. Oh, Ravlock said he just fixed the teleporter for pain and suffering to place on player lots. Huh? See? All right, let me look at the pricing here. I'm looking. Oh, let's see. Skipping.
Well, while you're looking, I can tell them a little bit about the forum moderation stuff, if you like.
Go for it.
Hey guys, so we've been without a community manager for a while, and I'm doing a lot to catch up on old, like when you hit that report button, when you see people being a little naughty on the forums. Well, I have actually got 38 out of, I don't know, Ravlox, if he's done on voice, but I think we had close to 500 in backlog. I got 38 left. I'll be finishing those today, and after that, it'll be a matter of just maintaining the ones you guys are sending in. Thanks so much for your patience on that, but we are essentially caught up now, and we'll be here totally in a few minutes. But there's that.
Woo! Okay, so I managed to go and pull. That's having an exception trying to insert into the database. I'm going and pulling. What is this crap? Oh, and I think it's somebody has a strange character in their name. But I'll go ahead and try and read these out the best I can, which is Cordovan Harp goes to Ehondis. Ornate Marching Band, shirt and hat, goes to Gygax. Gary Gygax. I think that may have been what screwed things up. 5-piece one-man band goes to Mary Weber. Ornate grand piano goes to Sig Dimchin. And large fancy pavilion goes to Grunhe. Nailed it. Anyways, I had to pull that out of the it trying to submit and get an exception in its database insert. But yes, I think somebody had some strange characters in their name that messed things up. All right. So let's see. It's 10 after 5, and I haven't made it through the second quarter. Let me tear through these last few, and then we can say our goodbyes. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu. So anyway, Port of Bones will be a new NPC town. That'll be a pirate-themed town. Doing an island cluster. We got to have pirate-themed stuff. Snowshears. Story-related overworld adventure. This is another one from the story stuff. Again, this will have some elements in it. It will not have all elements. It will not have all the NPCs, and everything may not be accessible because some of it requires you to be on the quest. But it will be on QA, and it will have some content. Pot templates, 2 high fantasy pot templates. So this is one of them. My plan for it is one of them is to take something and make a Port of Bones style atolls and other stuff. Little islands, all connected by bridges of floating barrels and whatnot. The other one is I'm planning on making it the floating in the sky pot variation. New home styles. This is new architecture set based on the Lord of the Isle mansion. Damon has done an insane amount of work with this art set, trying to get things cleaned up, make it performant, make it look better, hook it up, break it into chunks, get it to a point where we can use it. We're gonna use it on other stuff. But everything will be smaller. It'll be more standard style or size stuff. In case you haven't seen the Lord of the Isle mansion, it basically fills up a castle lot. It's that big. It's huge. It's ginormous. These will be more standard style, standard style, standard size things. Let's see. The new creatures that have been identified are more from Richard's list. The Wendigo. Is that how you say it? Wendigo? And Yeti. These have been on Richard's list for a while. And they feel very Richard-like. But it also, a lot of the theme from these Northern Isles is snow. There's going to be a lot of snow scenes, and they fit in with that. And they also have some cool features in terms of having special type attacks and AIs. Find items, global item find. This is another one that may slip closer to Q1. But this is so you can track down, basically it gives you some of the tools that we have. You'll be able to see any item that you have on any lot, in any chest, in the bank, anything. You'll be able to find some of those things off your list. Oh. Gnomes riding unicorn. Teaching. How about someone named Gnome riding a unicorn? Pet and tamed creature improvements. And this is one that, again, I'll continue to make improvements on. The tame creatures getting pretty close. The pets are one that they need a lot of love. They're probably going to get any of the skill, or the trees that have pets in will probably get a skill related to the pets in those classes. There's some of them, again, they're close, but then others are just pathetic. For the tame guys, they're more online what we want. We want to give more ways that you can spend more experience on them, that you can control them better. But the big thing we have to do is improve their AI, improve their behavior a lot. So we've got some stuff planned for that. But kind of the target for the tamed pets is the magic pets will never quite get to where the tamed pets are, just because tamed pets are such an investment in multiple different ways. Also, is that not? Oh, that's in Q3, Q4 that we're going to be doing the pet and tamed creature advancement. So you basically will be able to level up your tamed pets and stuff. So that's through Q3, and we're already way over time, and I'm going to have a family in here yelling at me. I will be streaming on Monday, and I guess I'm just going to pick up in Q3, Q4, and start answering some of your questions on stuff. Again, guys, thank you. Again, thanks for the positive feedback on the Q1, Q2 stuff. Again, these are all things that we've looked at. I can talk to you about any one of these things and how it's going to be implemented and what content's going to be needed for it. We've actually thought through a lot of these things. Not promising they're all going to get done in the quarter they are listed, but they will be getting done at some point. Again, my confidence is fairly high that we can get about as much content as I have in each one of these quarters done for the quarter. So we will see. You guys can challenge me on that at the end of Q1, and we'll see how many of these things we get in for you. Many of them are already done, but more will be coming. But again, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for the hype. Whoop, whoop. I didn't see many people using the hype emotes. You guys, I think that was the whole thing. Is like you do the hype and then you can use the hype emotes for the rest of the hype channel. And yes, very, very happy to have El Gary on with us here on the team. There you go. There's the hype. Yeah, that's hype for El Gary on there. Happy to keep him super involved in the community. And also let him keep playing and doing everything he's been doing and be involved even more. And he's so you've seen behind the curtains. You've seen the sausage maker, as they say, or as we say, for a week now. How are you feeling?
Well, honestly, I see a little bit of sausage being made for the most part, though. I always felt I had a pretty good impression of y'all's personalities and how transparent you were. And looking in your chat, I don't really see any surprises, really, too many, If anything, I see, like, when you have problems with the, maybe you're a little bit more angry with things breaking with your hardware and stuff like that, that they don't see the true verbiage of that. But, other than that.
Yeah, I am not G-rated on chat.
Right.
Of course, I always like the articles that come out that say stuff about, like, people who use more profanity are more intelligent. It's like, yeah, I am. I use a lot of profanity. But anyways, Not around Maxine. Don't worry, I never use any profanity around Maxine. But that's one of the things that I've been trying to get across for years, and of course, there's no way really to prove it to you guys. But we try to be as open and honest as with you guys as possible on things, and that's something that I think bringing in some new guys who've been like members of the community forever. I'm hoping that's another one of those things that we can do to make sure you guys understand. Like we're pretty darn honest with you guys about this stuff. We don't sit here and make up stuff behind the scenes on how we're going to screw you or plan lies or plan stuff that doesn't get done. We try to just be honest and move forward with things. And again, having guys in here that I know the community trust, like Elgarion and Ravlox and some of these other guys. Again, it's just hopefully more evidence that we are trying to be open with you guys, and we try our hardest always. That's one of those things I always try to make sure. I want to make sure no one is sitting there thinking that we're slacking off or, wasting money always. And that's actually one of the things we were talking about earlier with the hardware stuff. That's what we were just talking about. Like, Ravlox, when he saw the hardware failure stuff, he was like, are you going to try to replace the RAID controller with one of the RAID controllers from the other ones? You're going to try to replace it? And it's like, do you want me to replace the 9-year-old RAID controller with a different 9-year-old RAID controller? Is that really going to improve the situation? We need to figure out some stuff. So we got to spend a little money here coming up. So again, thank you for that hype. That will cover a good chunk of it. But again, guys, we try to be as honest with you as possible. This list right here is as honest as we can be as possible. The feedback from the team, because, and again, I think Elgarion probably saw some of this at least. I think I wrote some of this before he got here. But the only feedback from the team really on questions of getting things done was in scenes that we got to make sure and get another world builder in by Q2 to make this, to reach our goals on that stuff. So. But anyways, guys, it's time to start a weekend, which for me means not much because I'll be working tomorrow morning trying to remove the snow for real this time and fix the 2 rings of the same type on a character and a handful of other things and get you guys a build hopefully tomorrow afternoon. But guys, again, thank you so much. You want to say some goodbyes there, Elgarion, while I go find us a stream to raid?
Yeah, sure. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Also, tomorrow I'll be streaming a really, really short stream just to make sure I get the 7 streams in a row, just so we can get that other community of the Avatar channel here on Twitch up to affiliate. That's the last requirement we have, and we can bump that bad boy up. And then, of course, Monday through Friday, I'm on every morning starting 8 a.m. at Central at the latest. And hopefully, as I get more and more training as time goes on, I can help you guys with more and more stuff while I'm live on stream, hopefully. So, and of course, always show people the game and show people how to do certain things in my very not so powerful, not so skillful min-maxy kind of way. I got to admit, I'm not the most powerful character, but I figured out a few things in 6 years of gameplay. So, and then for the more advanced type help, definitely got some great streamers out there, guys, like of course House of Mangar Theater, that's Soul, and other folks. So who are we raiding?
So it looks like there's 4 potential raiders, people to raid. One is French, but he looks like a new guy, and he'll probably be super excited. So I was just gonna do do a random 4 here. I'm actually logging into game so I can do a random number. I have dice somewhere. I don't know where my dice are. Here we go. A1. Oh, speaking of House of Mangar Theater, he is the lucky winner today. All right, guys. Got the raid started here. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for support, both here on the stream and other places. But go support this guy as well. This guy is, if you want information, he's the guy to do it. And if you have concerns or stuff, I do get on his show and talk to him fairly often as well. So he's a good guy to vent your frustrations with about stuff, because he probably will vent it to me. So anyways, let's go raid House of Mangar Theater. You guys have a great weekend, and I'm going to sit here and wait for the tornadoes to come. Again, guys, thanks so much. And raided, and